Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds. I'm Nerdicus Ryan, and I'm joined by, or flanked by...
I'm Ted.
And I'm Dave.
And today we're going to give a player tip regarding allowing your Game Master or Dungeon Master to build story moments in your role-playing games.
Before we get into that, though, once you guys jump down to the description below, sign up for Nerdarchy, the newsletter. It's a great way to get helpful tips delivered straight to your inbox, as well as learn how to game with Nerdarchy.
All right, back to the show. So...
Okay.
Show. So, yeah.
I hate you so much, Ryan.
So it's just sometimes like the biggest reward as a game master is being able to build those moments that like can make the players' jaws drop, or like really surprise people, or like just building this like really cool moment in the story, this big reveal, and having it not only affect the characters, but the players at the game. You get a visceral reaction, and you have some players that, because they're so interruptive and they're attacking the monster as soon as they see it, or the whatever, before you get through any of the narration of what's going on, you never get to build those moments, and I think that's a huge problem.
So the misconception is game time and real time. Like, they butt up against each other all the time, and I think the players that jump in there fail to realize that your narration doesn't happen in real time, because it takes longer to describe something than it does for something to actually unfold in front of you or to see it. Yeah. So there's a disconnect there. This actually might be a good conversation to have in session 0 with a group that you're not familiar with, and new players would be like, look, as a DM and as a player, these things are going to happen, and I'm going to describe stuff. You're going to get your turn. Just don't cut me off. Let me do my thing.
You could have some kind of notation or visible signal that if you go into a narrative, it's like, okay, well, I'm doing this. You guys are just supposed to be silent and pay attention and listen, and have
Dude, we're gonna go back to the Boy Scouts. So you're gonna be like, put the scout sign up, which means if you guys aren't scouts and you don't know what that means, it means shut the fuck up. Pretty much.
That's exactly in their literature. Actually, the Boy Scouts of America. True story.
Yeah.
So.
But having some kind of visible signal that you guys discussed, and have the players aware that it's like, all right, you interrupt, there could be consequences, and have something that there might be clues within your narrative that they might pick up on, and if they cut you off, they've lost access to information that's going to make solving the quest or doing their challenge harder.
Well, no. Here's the big problem. All right, first, as game master, they shouldn't be monologuing for things measured in minutes, but 30 seconds, 45 seconds to communicate an idea, because as game master, they are your eyes and ears and nose into the world. Like, all of your senses that your character is getting, you're getting from those descriptions that your game master is giving you. And if you don't get complete information, like, your character has access to this, and they should get a sense of what's going on. And if not, it's almost like sensory deprivation in your role-playing game. Like, you're not getting the fullest extent and experience in your game. Actually, this comedian, Patton Oswalt, does this great bit about how he was building a quiet moment in the joke to say something really terrible but really hilarious, right? But some drunk douchebag asshole in the background was heckling because he couldn't handle the quiet moment, and then Patton Oswalt spends the next 2 minutes ripping this guy a new asshole. And he's like, "You dumb motherfucker! You will never get to really experience anything truly enlightening because you can't shut the fuck up for a minute."
Right.
Now,
I will say, you talked about a description versus a
monologue.
A monologue. There you go. If you've got a player or an NPC that just is a chatterer, the player should be allowed to interrupt that.
Yeah.
Well, that's conversation. That's different.
Right.
That's a direct interaction.
Right, and I'm trying to make that distinction, visible, so that it's like, all right, well, if the DM is describing, the Vargarian scene unfold from Dave's game, okay, this is something that you're taking this all in
that moment.
within seconds. Yeah. There's not really time to interact and do something. But, if you're standing, face to face with someone or 10 feet away, and he starts to tell you, well, the reason I'm doing this and blah 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 blah.
Like
you know,
James Bond villain.
Yeah.
you know,
monologuing.
feel free to be like,
Well,
I'm
and
gonna shoot him.
here's the difference too. Like, here's the cue. Like, that's real time. If someone's speaking,
Right.
that's real time. You know, a description could, a description that takes 15 minutes could happen in 15 seconds.
Right.
Which is not much time at all.
Right.
If you read,
Although no, do not as game master do something that takes you 15 minutes to read. Like literally, like keep it about a minute or less.
well, I was gonna say, if you read like Robert Jordan and
Don't do it.
Even
Don't
R.
do it.
Martin to a certain
Yeah.
point where they can be really descriptive. So it could take a long time to get through that like portion of narration, and really it's something you just looked at. Well, how long does that take? You know,
I would say a minute or two, enough to be able to get you through a couple paragraphs and really convey a meaning. Clearly, if you walk into the spooky forest and it's like, oh well, the light is not shining through the canopy and blah blah blah, you can get through 30 seconds no problem. The more grandiose the scene and the more impactful the surrounding area is, the players might be able to begin picking up on, oh well, he's doing more detail here. Maybe there's a reason for it.
Yeah, maybe this
there's-
is important.
Yeah. So you could even adopt that kind of style.
the zoom in,
Yeah.
like in detective mode when you play Batman. All right, so you haven't played Batman.
How often do you play Batman? What are you doing playing Batman?
It's a video game, man. There's a bunch of Batman video games, but then you have a detective mode when there's clues around. It like zooms in, or they turn red.
A clue. There's not blue paw prints on it.
No
No,
prints.
no, that's a different game
Oh well.
or show.
It's a different style.
When I play that, I usually wear a Batman mask. So I mean,
Oh my god!
All right,
think we get way too much
do we have
information.
any other expansions on this player tip?
That's pretty much it. I mean, and also, like, I was just using an example of 15 minutes versus 15 seconds. Obviously, you don't want to perform orations for your group. Or maybe you do. I don't know. I can see Spoonie doing it.
So, what do you guys think? Do you make this distinction as players? Do you allow your GMs this time? Put your thoughts and comments down below. While you're at it, like, share, even subscribe.
You can check us out on nerdarchy.com.
You can follow us over on Instagram.
So until next time,
Stay nerdy.